Hello there, people, and welcome to my stream. There we are. Hello. As I've promised you, we'll continue with this drawing. We'll keep making this frog look a bit better, a bit more realistical, and, just have a bit of fun, draw a bit more. It's something that I really want to keep doing. So if you want to grab a piece of paper, grab some pencils, or grab your tablet if you have one, and just draw something. Take the chance, for this moment to draw, to get to do something that you enjoy doing. So yeah, today I'll be going through the coloring process of the skin of the frog, also the eyes, hoping I can get them a bit more realistical, making them look a bit better. And other than that, I don't know, I think that's it for this little project. I'd really like to go back to doing some more learning, going through some other lessons, finding a few more subjects to learn, and other than that, grab another project afterwards. We'll see how this goes. But for now, this is the plan for today, and I'd also like to do a bit of warm-up, because why not? A bit of warm-up never hurt anyone. So let's see if I can find the document with the warm-up. Or maybe I can close this one. This one was a simple one with colors. Let me bring the exercise document over here. You should find this. You should be able to find this one in the description of this video. If you want to draw along, you can do so. Yeah, you'll see the references there in the corner, but I think that's fine. Hope they don't bother you too much, as long as you see the main screen as well. I think it should be alright. So let's put this in the group, and as you are already familiar with the exercise, I'm just gonna draw some straight lines. I'm gonna try to get them as straight as possible and going through as many dots as possible. Hope I'm not hitting the microphone. Let me stop it for a second. Yeah, that's a bit better. I don't want to hit the cable while I'm drawing. And there we go. Let's see if my hand can remember how to draw straight lines. Okay, so apparently it does remember something. It does remember how to hold the pen, I guess. But yeah, this is all about the practice, going through the motions. The result is less important. Important part is to do the exercise. Oh, this is quite difficult over here because I'm hitting my chair, Let me try like this. No. We'll try again. Let's try again. But yeah, the important part is going through the motions. Doing this again and again. And being present while doing it. Taking care of those lines. Trying to make them as good as possible. And you can see sometimes I go off screen. It's not my intention. What I want to do is try to keep everything on screen, finishing the line without going out of the page. That's what I'm aiming for. And it can be quite challenging because if you strike, you know, too far, it's gonna be a bit easier, but I feel it's not gonna help my accuracy for shorter distances like this. Okay, this is getting a bit better. Wait, no, I don't want to delete this one. Now I'd like to try the other way around, starting from left to right. Or no, right to left. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we're aiming for. I'm still playing around with those streams, you know, trying to find exactly what I'd like to do, how the format should be. I feel like I'm pretty much freestyling it right now, but I do have a bit of a basis, like those exercises and those little projects that I've started. But I view this streaming thing like a bigger project, you know, and this is the first stepping stones. Getting used to it, getting used to talking with an audience while drawing. Stuff like that. And all of those other bigger projects will definitely be achievable in time. Okay, now let me try go up and down, right? Okay. This is very tricky. It feels like it's not responsive. What's happened? What's going on? Huh. Not sure what's happening though. It appears that sometimes the lines stop working. I don't know. Maybe it's my tablet getting older. Hope not. Okay, so do our best. I'm using the playlist on Streamlabs for the music. I think I'm gonna go through all of them one by one. This one is the lo-fi. It's quite chill. It's alright for this. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily chill music for drawing, for exercising. Oh, let's try again. My pen is a bit iffy. Okay, so right now I'm not really trying to hit the dots. I'm just trying to keep my hand as steady as possible. Get at least a few straight lines. But I can see my hand is doing those X's, you know. Trickier than usual. Ah, there we go. That's a bit more control. Training up the muscles. This is kind of a workout, you know. It feels like a workout. Okay, now from bottom up. Okay, different motion. Feels entirely different, but in a good way. It's nice. Okay. Even though I want to get to the coloring part faster, it's important to be present while doing this exercise, because that's why I'm doing it. To learn something, to improve. And being present It's the most important thing that you can do while working on something. You'll pay the most attention, you'll improve the fastest. Try to notice what's happening, right, with your arm, how you feel. For me, it's quite uncomfortable to do those like this. I think we're gonna stop here with this one. And now, let me hide that one, that layer. And let's do a few ovals, just to finish off the warm-up. Pretty easy. And still trying to keep the wrist in one place, moving from the arm, from the elbow, right? Just a few more. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Enough warming up. And now let's go back to the Froggy project. Okay, so I've done something different from last time. I've just created another layer, and by making a mask on this layer, on the one with the color, I've moved it on the upper layer, so that now we can just draw you know, without crossing the border of the bottom layer of the lighter color. So I just want to draw on top, but without intersecting anything else. I think it's a cool way to do it. Haven't done it until now, but a good friend told me about it, and yeah, let's implement it. Quite easy. I don't know why I was afraid of layers, of those layer masks. I guess I never really got into using them, and they felt kind of strange, but they're pretty easy to use, straightforward. Okay, so now let me see how I can do this. I like to bring some darker colors some of those places, like here. But you can notice that the light is coming from this direction, so yeah, the darker color should not be too intense, because quickly it's gonna be stopped by the lighter color, stopped in its tracks. But yeah, maybe we'll get some darker greens here underneath the cap, underneath the helmet. Over here as well, yeah. Here it would be something like this, because of the shape, right? Oh, let me make the eraser a bit smaller. It's a huge one. Right now. There we go. A bit of darkness there. And now less and less, because we are starting to go towards the light. Okay. Now let me see. Here I'd like some darkness created some shadows. Why do I call it darkness? Just now I realized. It's not like I'm bringing evil into this painting, bringing darkness. Nah. And here, most definitely, darker colors, right? Let's just make this a bit bigger. Maybe even, yeah. Color it up like that. Here we'll see, we'll see. But I'd like this one to be darker as well, because the helmet should create some shadow, right? In that area of the body. And now, bringing some darker colors here, over here as well, because this is in shadow. Like this whole leg is in shadow, right? And here maybe like this. Okay. Now underneath. Oh. Underneath this area, get some more shadows. And also, I guess under the chin, the frog's chin, have something like that. Okay. Make it a bit smaller and make some shadows over here as well. Yeah, just like that. And over here. This finger should be in shadow, right? Because it's coming from this part, from the jaw, as I said. Okay, maybe slightly here, not tiny bit, because the light from the wand would definitely create some strong shadows. There we go. Okay, that's the first step, I guess. I don't really like this one. Maybe it's a bit less like that. It looked weird in the first place. Okay, so now what we can do is bring some lighter, some yellows, you see, for this area, like the lips. It's actually pink. Interesting. So we can go with some soft pinks, like that. You can make them darker here in the middle. And also we can add some highlights. So yeah, we have this. And now let me change to the airbrush. For this, we'll go a bit more towards the red, you know, a bit less intense, less color. Something like this. Yes. And then some whites for highlights. Right. Because definitely the light is gonna affect this area of the lips. Okay. Now, how do we proceed with the highlights? Let's see. So I'd like to go back to those colors and try to implement them here. To add a bit of this over here. Even though we're gonna change the shadows later on, it's fine. I just want to add a bit of base color. See how this looks like. And then those greens, they seem to be more towards yellow, right? Lighter. Looks a bit too similar, I think. That's too intense. Let's see. It's a process, right? Trial and error. It looks like a frog that had some makeup put on. Yeah. Doesn't look so scary now. Now you can see here, the fingers are really yellow. So something like this. Here we can just grab a darker color. Just playing around, I guess. On those wormy things, I'm gonna place some highlights, then some shadows, I guess. Let me make this a bit smaller, and there we go. Something like that. And I can add some highlights over here as well. You can see that this area should be kind of lit. Also here. Okay, and now nuances. Can try something, nah, not that dark, but a bit different for those shapes. See, something that just differentiates. There we go. Weirdly enough, I didn't pick it in the first time. Okay. This yellow looks a bit strange. I think I prefer it like this. Tiny bit of shadow. Then some highlights. This is a bit too dark, I think. Yeah, if you grab something maybe lighter. Okay. Now for the texture. You see all those little bumps, you know, like all over the place on the frog's face. I'd like to add some smaller details. Not sure if this is right, but looks interesting though. Maybe some bumps here as well. Yep. There we go. You see some of this yellow. It's like spread on the arm of the frog. Bumps. I need more of those. You see the frog has those bigger ones with white inside of them. So like but not all, just some of them. For the eyes, well, let's see. Maybe you can make the same thing. So, first of all, I made a mask. Then I made another layer and I moved the mask there. Ah, not like that. Okay. So, I need to do this, and then make a mask like this, I think. Right? Yeah, I think this works pretty much, but I'm not sure why it only selected this area. Huh. Okay, might be enough, but let's see. What I want to get here is a bit of that feeling weird. That weird texture feel, you know, the one you can notice over here, the lower part of the eye. So it's like it has many bumps, right? It's like a transition from an area without bumps, less bumps, until there's no bumps. Okay, this is interesting. And now some highlights. Secondary highlights. Maybe a bit more rounded. Okay, something like that. Okay, this looks a bit more 3D. Let's see, without, with, and here without, with. Definitely something happened here. Just yeah, let's add a few more details quickly. Go back. Yep. I think I'm satisfied with how the frog turned out to be. Wait, where is this one? It's there. Huh. There? Why? How? Wait a second. This should be behind everything. Why is it there? This should be here somewhere. Right. Smooth it out a bit. I'd like to do something else. One more thing before we wrap this up. make this dark. So that it pops out a bit more. What's this? Don't know why that happened. Okay. And also here. Change the color a bit. Here as well. Maybe more towards, yeah, like that. That's a bit better. Okay, I think this looks nice. Oh. Yeah, so this was the frog project. You've seen it start to finish. This seems to be a bit weird, out of the limits. Not sure why this happened, but yeah. I think it happened everywhere, right? Moved a bit lower. I might have moved it by accident. Now let's just make sure it's correct. Yeah, it looks a bit weird. Yeah, I think I moved it a bit to the side without realizing. Oh well. Yeah, I think something like that. But now I have erased it. Fun and games, fun and games. Nope. Go back. What's going on? I keep pressing the Windows button. That's a bit annoying. Just trying to select color here. Okay, now it should be right. Yeah, should be fine now. Okay, good. Now we can say that the project is done. It's something, right? Most definitely, there's a whole lot of place for improvement, especially starting from the base shadows. I went a bit randomly with those, trying to go on instinct most. Yeah, then textures, again, a lot of work with that, studying textures. So yeah, doing this project kind of made me realize like what I should improve or what I want to improve next. So I'd really like to do some drawings based on, you know, analyzing shadows, analyzing how shadows fall onto different geometrical objects, and then more organic objects, more abstract ones, so that I could understand how a light source would create shadows on an animal like this. Then a separate thing to learn would be the texture part, learning how to create the texture on the skin, you know, with all those very wet surfaces, yeah, that create those highlights, those interesting highlights that are not metallic, right? Because there's a clear difference between those highlights and those. They look kind of similar, but I think the metallic ones are sharper. And yeah, creating those illusions of wetness, of texture. Here as well, there's a ton of texture here. I didn't even use it as a reference, but yeah, it would have been something. All those little bumps with lights and shadows of their own. Here again, different texture. Yeah, so that would be something different to study. The part about textures. What else? Making 3D objects, you know, moving them around like this helmet, you know. You can definitely see that this part, I made it very, very small so that it fit the frog, but in proportion it would be much bigger to cover a larger surface. It also started from here, so yeah, I guess we can say that it is a difference in design, but still, drawing objects, turning them around in 3D, learning how they look, how you can turn them around to make them still look realistical after you've done so. A lot to learn, but I'm really happy that I've done a project. I want to do many more. Keep on streaming, keep on drawing, guys, and yeah, always have fun. Enjoy the hobbies that you put time into. See you soon. Bye bye.